Hi, it's me. I'm in your face. Sorry, that's better. Okay, so let's talk CLOG 3, shall we? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Paul, and welcome your faces back to yet another video. This video was supposed to be out on Tuesday. It is now Friday. I got sick. Yeah, so that's been the delay on that. But enough chit chat. Let's talk CLOG 3. Canon released another firmware update, version 1.4. And in it, they gave us the ability to record to dual card slots in video at the same time, which is rad, although I don't necessarily see myself using that very much, let's be honest. The thing that we're all here to actually talk about is CLOG 3. Yes, Canon finally gave us EOS R6 users Canon Log 3. EOS? I can never get that right. What is CLOG 3? Now, CLOG 3 is a flat picture profile that is designed specifically by Canon to give you more dynamic range and detail in your footage. But as you guys all know, it's very flat and needs to be graded. It does give you an additional stop, one additional stop of dynamic range over CLOG 1, and as a result, its base ISO is one stop higher, so it goes from 400 to 800 for the base ISO. Enough like technical mumbo jumbo chit chat though, because what we're here to do is grade it. I'm gonna show you exactly how, because it's a lot easier than you might think. So if you've got a computer, laptop, whatever, pop it open, jump into DaVinci Resolve or your software of choice. I'm gonna be using Resolve though. And let me show you how to grade this stuff. Also, I'm still pushing the liquids, definitely. I mean, it's a smart thing to do when you're sick. And yeah, lots and lots of hot things. Been drinking lots and lots of hot things. So here's my process for color grading. I take my initial node, and we'll just label this one a base. I don't make any changes to this one. Instead, if you hit Alt-S, that adds a serial node in front of it. This one is going to be labeled CST for color space transform. So the very first thing I do is transform this from the Canon Log 3 color space into a Rec. 709. You can do this via conversion LUTs, but with DaVinci Resolve, it's really easy. It's really easy to just do here. So you go to Open Effects, Resolve FX Color, and you find Color Space Transform. Drag it, drop it onto that node. Input color space, I leave this as Use Timeline. You can actually change it to Canon Cinema Gamut, but if you do that, your footage is like way oversaturated. And it can be difficult to pull that saturation out, particularly where the color green is involved. So I just leave this on Use Timeline. Input gamma you will set to Canon Log 3. Output color space gets set to Rec. 709. And then output gamma also gets set to Rec. 709. Boom. Like so. This is your conversion from CLOG to Rec. 709 done. And then on top of this, I add another node, and this one is called Corrections. And then what this is for is specifically for things like white balance corrections, exposure corrections, etc. I don't do a personal grade until after I've done corrections. So here, I'm gonna just warm this up a little bit. I'm gonna add a small bit of contrast, and then according to my video scopes down here, my shadows can go down just a little bit more, and my highlights, my gain, can come down just a tad as well. So once corrections are applied, so like white balance and exposure and all this sort of stuff, which this shot didn't need much, then I will add my final node. And this node we will call grade. Now here, this is where I apply my personal grade. So for a lot of shots like this, I prefer having an even warmer look, the tint a little bit more towards magenta, a little bit of contrast, some mid detail, not a whole lot, just a little bit, because this is in 4K, so the 4K from the R6 is already downsampled from 5K anyway, so you don't really need to add a whole lot, and sometimes I actually end up taking away some of the mid detail here. Hue, I don't play around with hue too much. I am going to mess with this a little bit though, because I do like having it a little more green here in the background. Saturation, I'm going to bring down just a little, not a whole lot. And then we're going to go to curves, and I'm going to put a few points on my curve here, paying attention to my scopes to make sure I don't go like too far down and crush my blacks. I do want to add just a little bit in there, boost, well, bring the midtones down just a hair. I can actually, we'll boost the highlights just a little bit. And then I like taking my blacks all the way down to the bottom of my tone curve and bringing them up just a little bit like that. And that shot looks pretty darn good to me. And that is essentially my entire grading process. It's really simple. I don't do a whole lot before and after. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that brief little tutorial. I just figured I'd get a video out real quick this week to show you guys, those of you who are now shooting in CLOG 3, exactly how to grade it. It's relatively simple and gives you a lot of flexibility. That 10-bit color is really, really good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you want to see some more stuff from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell, you know, all the typical YouTube-y stuff that people tell you to do. And I'll see you in the next video. Anyway, take care. I'm gonna go burn my throat with more tea. Bye.